1974.
1976.
So like I had a banana board in the 70s when I would just ride down the driveway, but I really started skating like, real skating at like 1985.
Either 1964 or 65 is when I first started skating.
Be 1973.
1974, 3?
1967.
Age 11.
Black Knight. Clay wheels, open ball bearing.
It was an Astral deck, ASTRAL.
A Nash Executioner.
Got it. Yeah. Digging deep, baby.
Like sidewalk surfers, everyone, all the guys from my era want to say, "Oh, my first board is a Black Knight." I never owned a Black Knight.
Found it in a garbage dump when I was hunting for bicycle parts. It was a homemade board, black. Had a silver lightning bolt on it, metal wheels, metal trucks. I believe they were probably Chicago, like roller skate trucks. And I brought it back to the neighborhood, and me and some other kids found the steepest driveway in our neighborhood. And the whole goal was to ride down the driveway, and basically you'd hit the sidewalk crack and eat shit. But like if you hit the sidewalk crack, you're fucking king.
California Freefoamer?
That would have been a roller derby board with Chicago trucks and clay wheels.
Sims Wood Kick, Tracker Trucks, Blue Kryptonics.
It's a 36-inch Pluto blank longboard with seismic trucks and these weird mag wheels that are 69 millimeter, 78 A's.
I'm riding a MPS deck with Indy 169s and Bones SPF 60s.
I'm riding a Pal Flight deck, 9-inch, two with the titanium Indies and Speed Lab wheels with Swiss bearings.
So it's actually the J Adams model, but it's from the 80s, and it's this mold that I kind of created with the Watson laminates. My
current setup is a custom-made Monty Nolder 5-ply Paul Schmidt built board, Indy 169s, and I'm riding Bones Park Rider. I believe they're like 60. I think they're like 61s.
Riding, me and Paul Schmidt made a board, and then, so I guess it's a PS sticks, and then I got some Indies, and what kind of wheels do I have on? S1? S-type wheels.
Actually, I have a Bill Danforth Nomad board. I'm not sure if the Indies are 149. I think they're 149 Indies with OJ Asoy rockets.
Current setup is Ace Trucks 44s, Speed Lab wheels, Bones bearings, and I'm riding an anti-hero board 875.
Oh, street, yeah.
Transition.
Come on, Bert.
Not really street for like I'm going to be actually riding the hills here, but so I mean the streets for me were like transportation when I rode, but
Right.
But so bowls or any kind of vert or anything.
Grew up skating vert. I excelled at street, ride everything.
I prefer transition.
Probably vert.
Street, vert. I know vert.
Probably the Wallows.
Cherry Hill Skate Park. Cherry Hill, New Jersey. New Jersey.
Probably the Arvada Skate Park in Denver.
Well, the best park I ever rode was Getaway, but the best overall sessions was like the first few months of Marina Skate Park, those were legendary.
Cherry Hill, when I was a little kid.
I love the Charleston Hangar.
Oh, that'd have been my backyard.
Cherry Hill Skate Park.
Probably riding the world's longest skateboard.
Loud grinds.
Just a good long back pivot.
Just being on edge and like I don't know, probably one of my favorite photos I have is it's in the Friedman book, but it's like a upside down carve, like, just like hand down and kind of upside down.
Watching Monty Nolder skate.
Layback air roll-arounds, kind of obsessed with them in my mind.
Probably doing backside bonelesses.
I broke my collarbone, but breaking or jamming ankles is pretty bad. Wrists, breaking those, those aren't too bad, but the collarbone hurt.
It was that Tacona pool. I locked up in an andirect. I fell with my elbow into my stomach, and I pissed blood for 2 days, but I didn't tell anybody because I drove down there with Groholski and his dad, and I figured if I told them, they'd take me to the hospital and I couldn't skate.
2013, I was at an indoor bowl at KTR here. It's called Kids That Rip, but that's where Jagger and Trey Wood and them kind of came up. Anyway, fell backwards off this 10-foot extension straight to the flat with my legs stiff and completely just shattered my leg. Like it was like a chicken bone, just. And so about a year off my board and 2 surgeries and whatnot. So yeah.
Went to Kona and I hadn't even put on my pads or helmet, and I went up and did an edger on that tombstone. And I mean, literally like a edger. And then I bailed out, and when I ran down, I hit my board at the bottom and I broke my wrist and got water on the hip. So that was a good one.
11 years old, Eddie Algura, Skateboarder magazine. I had a backyard vert ramp, no flat bottom, old school, and I learned how to do fakey ollies. Caught my front foot on the coping, turned my fucking foot all the way around. That day I'd just gotten brand new Rector fucking knee pads. First time I ever had them for a birthday present. And I went to the hospital, horrified. Doctor had to cut the knee pad off of me. And I just thought that was a waste of money. And then when he went to set my fucking ankle back into place, he re-broke it and then got it back in the second try.
I went for an acid drop, made it the first time. Second time, I was like, I'm gonna not catch any air. I hung up, and they say I bounced when I slammed. Bruised my kidney, peed blood in the hospital for 2 days.
Oh.
Del Mar, keyhole.
Hooking up on the backside boneless at the barn ramp in New Jersey.
Skitch Hitchcock, yeah.
The one who has the most fun.
Tony Hawk.
Oh, there's so many, but Hosoi is one of my favorite. Eric Dressen.
Pretty much Bonnie Dolder, Neil Blender, Phillips.
Those creative types that don't go outside of game and skate.
Wow, that's a tough one. I'm gonna put it as somebody that I would have loved if I could be that skater for a session, and that would be Dan Wilkes.
Stacy Carlson.
Probably Huntsville, 88.
Shit, it would have to be the Australia tour with the Alba team.
Probably that trip that I was telling you guys about that me and Jamie went on after I sold the skate park. We went out to California for a couple of weeks and just drove around and skated. Stayed with Dorfman.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. One that I'm just going to say, I've been on a lot, but I was actually going on a surf trip, and I was 15, and I had a bunch of friends, and my dad was driving us to Cocoa Beach to surf, and he rented us a motel, but we were driving in, and we got off the 95, and we're just driving, and then I look over, and there's guys skating a skate park. It was called the Pave Wave. It was the first park. And I was like, what the pull over, man. We pulled over, and that was before I had that Logan or anything, and so I saw that and I couldn't believe it. And then we went and we stayed in Melbourne, and the surf wasn't that good, and I hitchhiked. It was like 30 miles. I was hitchhiking every day back to that skate park, and that was the most memorable. And then these guys told me, well, there's another park in Daytona that just opened too, which is, I forget the name of it, but so those were the first 2 parks, and they opened right around the same exact time as Carlsbad the Carlsbad, which is the first park in California.
I'm gonna go with most memorial trips, and they would probably be ones with Blaze.
The Europe trips were great. They were just odd, new and different going to Europe.
So in 1991, I went for an entire month on a tour in Europe with Omar Hassan. I was his guardian when he went through Europe, and that was a great time. He was 16 at the time.
Wow.
And all he ever wanted to do every day was go skateboarding, and all I ever wanted to do every day was buy my next cup of coffee and find a museum worth walking through. And he usually won out.
Going to Jacksonville, Florida with Tom Grolski when he was 16 and I was about 17, 18.
Probably the pump track.
Hopefully it's Pine Ridge.
You know, I'd like to do that Albuquerque trip.
My next skate trip is to get out this weekend and ride these hills right here.
Going to Puerto Rico, so I don't know, check out some shit down there.
I'm getting out of here for the winter. I'm hoping to go down Highway 10 and just explore all that Arizona and California and RB.
Coming back down here to Knoxville, skate with you guys.